Hi, I'm Rich and welcome to my garden. Today I'm going to give you a tour, an overview of the garden. I started this garden 30 years ago and I don't know what I was thinking, but it's been a real learning process. First thing I learned is when you're doing a garden this size, you want to plant things you touch once a year. You don't want to be trimming the same hedges every week all summer long. So some of those things have been ripped out and I've replaced them with other things. Right plant, right place. This time of the year, March, it can be pretty windy and it can get cool. So you don't want to take your leaves. Leaves are nature's mulch and they protect your plants. You don't want to pull them away too early because they're protecting your plants. So as we're walking through the garden and I'm showing you things today, that's why there are leaves blowing around. We haven't cleaned them up yet. It's too early. This room is an English style garden. I keep the space open so we can entertain on this lawn, where other rooms in the garden are tighter. They're meant to walk through. Where this garden, this area is, you can do more things in this area. It's a lawn with 4 holly bushes and a filbert in the middle. There's beds that surround it and trees. So each area is a little different. This area gets a lot of shade, so you need shade-loving things. There's a pergola up there with a vine on it. It'll look much different in a month or two when the leaves are, it's totally covered in Engelmann ivy or Virginia creeper. And there's chairs underneath that you can sit in, not that I sit a lot. This is a shade garden. I have anemones, which can be very invasive. Behind them, I have ditch lilies. Now, in other areas of the garden, I have very hybridized lilies, but I love the ditch lilies. The ditch lilies are the common variety that you see on the side of the road. Many people do not like them. I like them. They bloom on my birthday. We're going to leave the English garden and walk into a more Italianate garden. Italianate gardens are pretty much all shrubs and trees and bushes, green. Very little color. Although I have a few rose bushes in there, it's all about shape and different color greens. So we're going to enter in and I'll show you what I mean. I started with English boxwoods. They're very slow growers and they're beautiful plants. They give off an odor that some people love, other people hate. They're not doing well. There's a blight that's entered the country that's just killing off all the boxwoods. The Mountain Gem or Green Mountain are much healthier and hardier. And they only need to be clipped twice a year, so that's big in my book. So this is a very Italianate or English. They call them pateres. And so this garden is basically boxwoods and fruit trees. This is my first attempt at espalier fruit trees. This is an apple. And as you'll go through the garden, you'll see that I got better at it. We are now entering the English cottage garden, which I love cottage gardens. Cottage gardens are all about planting whatever you like next to whatever you like. There's no rules. I love that. And there's certain types of plants they put in a cottage garden. Irises, roses, climbing clematis. They're supposed to be very colorful. Dahlias. So I'm still packing this area with plantings. Now you can't see it at this time of the year, but as we do these shows each week, you'll see everything coming into a dance. It is a dance of color. Beautiful. I love this section of the garden. Now here's a birdhouse I saw in Colonial Williamsburg behind, and I fell in love with it, and I had it built. you need structure in the garden. You need focal points. You need things to look at other than flowers and shrubs. This is an herb, it's sage. It's what you use on Thanksgiving for your filling and your turkey. I love it. It does well for me. It's drought tolerant. The rabbits hate it. It flowers this beautiful pinkish blue color for a month in the spring. So as the weather warms up, I'll take shears. Actually, I'll take clippers, like battery operated clippers, and I'll just take it down to about here. And it will be beautiful in late spring, early summer. Now we're walking down one of the pathways in the garden that's lined with boxwoods. These are elderberries. They get huge, and we get elderberry juice from them. I put in these two yew bushes, and they're going to be trimmed in a very big pillar. Abraham Darby rose. This side, I had trees I took out. I put in a blue ice. They're native to Arizona. They do well here. And a southern magnolia. This is about as far north as you can go with a magnolia. But in another month, it's going to be all pinks and reds, as I said. Gardens change over time. Originally, I had a lawn here, 4 huge bushes, and it was very pretty. However, we wanted to put a vegetable garden in. So I ripped the 4 bushes out so we could have our daughter's wedding on this lawn. And then after the wedding, I had a fence put in because of the rabbit problem. There's chicken wire at the bottom. So we call this our colonial raised bed garden. Raised beds are wonderful to grow in vegetables, but you need things to tie your tomato plants to. So we put in these cattle panels, and I'll rototill this and put some manure in. This is a pear tree. It's not the way some people prune it, but I kind of do it as a topiary, although we get a lot of pears from it. This is another pear tree, and I have 2 more out on the property. Put this cement blocks in last year. We come out here in the morning when the weather warms up. We have our coffee, and we weed and water and collect fruit, vegetables. It is a wonderful place to spend your mornings and your late afternoons in the evening when it cools down. We spend a lot of time in here and really enjoy it. That's just a quick look at what the garden looks like at this time of the year, and a little introduction into the design of the garden. Until we meet again, thank you for spending time with me. I enjoyed it. I hope you did.